Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another episode for Raid Shadow Legends. This time around I am going to be farming the Spirit Keep. We need some of them potions for the purposes of leveling up and what's the word? Well, for the purposes of fusing Rhazin's Scarhide, basically. So I do want to get that Rhazin, and we do need to, that's the word, ascension, geesh. So obviously we need some of these potions to ascend Rhazin. Now there's about an hour or so remaining on this keep until it shuts down, so I thought I'm going to spend this hour farming as much of the spirit potions as I can. Get some of those going just for that unique purpose, and I think there are several champions that are going to need that with regards to being ascended. I don't see too many spirit champions in the fusion, so hopefully what I get from this particular farm should be good enough for the fusion, and so that's the idea behind it. Think the next one that will open up will be the Force Keep. Again, I'll end up having to farm that one as well. Now, as you can see, we're doing alright. I have more or less farmed, or am able to farm the later stages of this keep, but the issue is with the current lineup that I have for the heroes that I'm using, it takes about 5-6 minutes to actually auto run that, and because of the champions that I need to ascend being the rare type of champions, I don't really need the high tier potions. I need the first and second tier. I need lots of those potions as well, so that is what I'm gonna be doing. Hopefully I get plenty of the first tier potions and second tier potions. I don't really need that many tier 3 potions at this point in time. So for that reason, you know, and the fact that it takes forever to farm for me at this point in time, I think stage 15 of this, I'm going to go with a lower stage. That also helps me preserve some energy and use it in other places that I really need more than this. So like, for example, working towards the champion training event, so that's one of the things. Then maybe doing some dungeon runs again, that's going to use up a lot of energy, and by doing the lower levels and getting the lower tier potions, that's going to come in handy for the fusion, with, I suppose, the idea of being economical with the energy that I spend. So I think, I don't even remember how much energy, I think it's somewhere around 12 energy, 10 or 12 energy that I'm using per run instead of 14. So every run I save around 4 energy, which is quite useful, and it does add up in say an hour and a half of repeating this run over and over again. It does make a big difference. As you can see, my team can pretty consistently take down this particular stage, and I've leveled up. That's pretty nice. We get some more energy, some gems. It's been a long time since I've seen that thing on screen. That's been, yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah, so it's 10 energy. I think the last ones go up to 12, what, 14 or something like that. Yeah, 12. So I save up 2 energy basically per run, which isn't a bad deal. You know, it does add up. I think, you know, you end up doing quite a few runs. Multiply that by 2. You get the idea of how much energy I end up saving up. So, I'm trying to think. I could give this a go, but then I worry about that heal reduction. See, I need to prevent this boss from healing, so I need something with a heal reduction. Now I tried running with the previous cold heart. I know one of them is better than the other one. I just cannot quite tell which one's the best. So Queen Ava should have a heal reduction, as does Cold Heart. Now this boss also places a buff that basically blocks debuffs, so that can make it a bit of a long dungeon to grind through. I really don't like this champion that when she puts up that buff on her. There we go. Let's see how we do here. Now hopefully I don't lose Cold Heart. I'm hoping that between Queen Ava and Cold Heart that heal reduction goes up quicker, but as you can see the boss has that little buff on her, which means I cannot place debuffs on her, and so the heal reduction debuff will not be placed. The problem is the AI doesn't know that, and yeah, this isn't looking too good at this point in time. There we go. We could do with a heal at this point in time. Alright. Let's see what happens. Mind you, this isn't the team that I used to actually defeat this stage. I think I had a different team composition. But now I'm just testing out different team comps to see what works better, trying to get better times and stuff like that. And yeah, so that, as you can see, the counterattack does make a big difference, and she already has a heal reduction, so she doesn't heal that much when she gets a turn. So we're doing alright. We were a bit close to losing Cold Heart, and we get an error report. Dude, this is not good. Well, let's continue. I want to get my rewards. Hopefully I get my rewards for this. Nope, nothing's happening. Oh, this is frustrating. Thank you, Polarium. Oh, man. I really hope that I got whatever reward I got. Now, the problem is I don't know what I got as a reward. That's the other issue. Right, well, I can't even exit the game. I'm going to have to force close the game and start that again. So even trying to close the game down, that was a bit of a challenge. I don't know what error that was, but every time I tried closing it with like alt-tabbing out and closing it, it would give me that prompt. But then, you know, are you sure you want to quit the game prompt? And when I went to the game to click yes, the prompt would disappear. So I ended up having to use Task Manager to force shut down the game because that was the only option available. Nothing else seemed to work, so I don't know what error that was. So at this point in time, I just picked a random stage that I thought would be okay for me to quickly farm it consistently and get as much of the spirit potions as I can. And as you can see, this boss does heal a great amount. There's no way I'm taking this boss down without any heal reduction debuffs. So I'm waiting for... There we go, that's the one. Heal reduction is up, so now when she gets a turn, she shouldn't heal that much. There we go, that was done. So I decided to go for stage 11, as you can see, just to save up on that energy. It's, for me, the most efficient way of doing it. And obviously, I do need the potions, but I don't want to waste too much energy on this. And I do not need, as I said at the beginning, I don't need the third tier potions as much as I do the first and second tier, for the purposes of fusing Rhazin. That was a quick run. Also, it saves me on time. I don't have to wait here for ages to have my team complete the stage. So, you know, it's a win-win all around for me. Once the force keep is up, I'll start farming that one as well. I think with these two keeps, I've managed to get quite far with them. I think these are the only ones that I've actually been consistently farming, to be fairly honest. Seeing as a lot of my champions tend to be from that. So I think I mean, not a lot of champions, because I do have a lot of magic champions, but they've already been ascended, so I've used up the potions and stuff. But I'll end up spending a lot of time in here anyways, trying to stockpile some potions for later uses anyways. I do have the energy for it, so might as well do a bit of wise investment and stock up on some potions for a later time. Now, initially, my debate, or the debate with myself with regards to the next champion that's going to be taken to level 60, was between the Cold Heart and the Queen Ava champion. I think Queen Ava wins it because she's a legendary. She can dish out quite a good amount of damage, and I think between the ascension and leveling up, she could potentially farm stage 12-3 on Brutal quite easily, especially with the gear that she has. At least that is my hope. And if not, hopefully she doesn't need too much more in terms of gear for her to consistently be able to do that, and that is what I'm looking for. I'm still going to be using Elaine here and there, but once Queen Ava's set up, I think Elaine's kind of end up being retired. She did serve me quite well. She has been my campaign farmer for quite a long time now, or at least it feels that way. But it's time we go to something a bit better, and it's kind of sad because I got Bellower, and I was gonna try and set up Bellower, but he's too gear dependent as it stands. So on that note, what I worry about is, well, I don't have the gear necessary to get him to that point, so I'll have to find another use for him. I did put in the effort to get him to level 60, so I'm gonna have to find some use for him. I just don't know where. I think he can do alright in the dungeons, and I probably will use him in the arena if I can turn him into a proper glass cannon. But that would imply that I need to look at keeping him alive or reviving him or something in my team comp in the arena. He can do quite a bit of damage, and he does have some nice debuffs as well. Once again, as always, I will not be putting up the full recording of me farming this. I will probably do, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe 20 minutes, because it's the same thing over and over again. But this is one of the steps I'm having to go through in order to get Rhazin, and I thought I might as well make a playthrough of this just for the purposes of recording it and sharing it with everyone, but also to serve as a bit of a, I don't know, rolling log, if you will. You know, kind of like this is what I had to do to get Rhazin. I didn't see very many videos. I know there's a lot of streamers out there that will have streamed it and stuff like that, but there are not very many videos on YouTube, and this is just like a little playthrough for my channel for this game, which I am still currently enjoying. It's a bit of an expensive game, if you will. There's a bit of a gambling element to it, which is enjoyable but expensive. That's the way I would describe this game. I mean, you can go free to play, and I could have done that. But I thought, you know, I put so much hard work in the channel, might as well enjoy some of that money that I get from the channel. And it's also a way of investing back into the channel for the purposes of making videos for this game. So yeah, that's the way I sort of prefer to look at it, at least. It's a little investment that's a bit expensive, but yeah, who cares? You know, money's just money. As a separate thing outside of Raid Shadow Legends, I thought I might as well just kind of take this time to kind of wish everyone a happy new year. Hope you guys get a good year this year. I am going to start working on sorting out my ARC servers. I know I've been saying that throughout the last several videos, but the simple fact is, in between YouTube and work and all of the Christmas holidays, I really did not have the time to do that. So one of the main things for this month before the Genesis DLC goes live is to sort out the servers. Just as I've said before, what I'm going to do is I will have, and this is the thing that I'm not looking forward to, I will have to rebuild a base on Ragnarok. I'm going to keep that map. I've spoken to people on the servers, and unfortunately Valguero will be going, or I could. No, you see, what I don't like about Valguero is the underwater biomes. It does have all of the other stuff like aberration and stuff, but it doesn't have the creatures. And I could easily add a mod to have all of the creatures in the other little maps and stuff like that. So like the extinction stuff. No, not extinction. What was it? Geez, I'm getting them confused now. Oh, that wasn't extinction. That was, what was it? The one with the underground map. So I could use a you know, now that I think about it, this is such a hard decision to make, because both Valguero and Ragnarok have their pros and cons. I think Ragnarok has a lot more in terms of chances of getting ascendant gear, and I like that. It's a giant map, and so is Valguero for that matter, and I don't know. Decisions. The other option is I shift everything over to Valguero, add that DLC, add that mod to have the Reapers spawn in and all the creatures that were meant to. That might work out. That might keep things interesting. Huh. Yeah, I think that's something to look at. In which case, I could then pretty much put everything in a cryopod and not bother with having to rebuild, really. That's the problem. That's what I'm struggling with. See, on Valguero, I already have a base. Some of the information has been recovered. It's not a big base, but yeah, I think if I look at it logically, I'm gonna probably go with Valguero as a map to keep and say bye-bye to Ragnarok, because to rebuild that base that I had would be a massive pain for a start, because there are still pieces and bits that I have to take down in order to put the new pieces back up. So that's something to look at. The only issue I have with Valguero is the wyverns, and that there's only frost and yeah, there's only frost wyverns and fire wyverns on the map, whereas Ragnarok has the poison and lightning wyverns. So they both have the pros and cons. I'll have to think about it, but see, this is where Extinction goes. That is definitely going. I will have to transfer everything off of Extinction if they're still alive. If it's still alive, we'll see. That's gonna be interesting to see what happens there. With that said, I think I'll run this dungeon, this keep, once more, and by the end of that I should end the video. It's kind of the same thing. I mean, if you guys have any suggestions with what map I should go, with what DLC I should go, let me know down below. With regards to Ark, I'm still struggling to decide between Valguero and the Ragnarok maps. They're both really good. They both have the pros and cons. I would have liked a underground section in the Ragnarok map. If the Ragnarok map had that, then it would be a no-brainer for me, but it doesn't. But then you see Valguero has that bit, but doesn't have the creatures meant to be with that. So I mean, I can add a mod to sort that out, which wouldn't be all that difficult. So yeah, decisions. Well, let me know what you guys think, what you advise me to do with regards to that. I'm still struggling. This is one of the decisions that I don't really know what to do. I mean, I'm gonna be happy either way with whatever outcome I make, but it's just they're both kind of equal in terms of what choice to make for me. With that being said and done, that is it for this episode, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it, and if you have, please don't forget to support me in the channel by hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself, and if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel. Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.